Hello.
Can I have my ice
It
cream
is
cone back,
Saturday.
young fella? Blake held it out.
Hello, hello, hello. I just did my
That was very kind.
process to get my credentials to be at the port. So I just did that. I'm listening to
Johnny insisted that they
short stories. I'm gonna turn it off. I took the skeleton crew with me to Iraq. I bought it at the airport in Houston before I began my trip to the Middle East. And these ones is more short stories by Stephen, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. I thought I'd check it out. It's weird. It's not like Skeleton Crew. It's more morbid. But that's Stephen King. So I did those credentials. So now I've got to do more fingerprinting, I think. I'm trying to get out of it. I don't believe in spending money if I don't have to. And some people want to have a lot of money so they can spend it like water. I'm just not with that. So I'm headed back home. It is 10 a.m. on Saturday. Oh, I wanted to show you Seattle. Here we go. Uh-oh, let me do it again. Woo-hoo. That should do it. Okay. As you can see, it is totally gray. I was up this morning talking to my friends in LA, and they said it's beautiful and sunny. I said Seattle is UK West UK. Also, what you can see is that there is nobody out. No traffic. Nobody is moving about yet except for those of us who have to. I saw a girl and her mom from Texas. So this area is called the Soto District. It's where the rich guys want to build a stadium for luring the NBA back here. I hope the NBA does not come back, because we didn't, here in Seattle, they didn't appreciate the Sonics when they had them. So do I think that they would be nicer to the NBA if the NBA would come back? No, I don't think so. For this to be a liberal state, these are some mean people. And I think that in the world there has to be mean people. It's just about the balance. But it does get tiring, because it seems like the source of it. I mean, I understand being mean when you have to be mean. But being mean just for what? Because you lack confidence or self-esteem, or you're arrogant, or, you know, just to be mean for mean's sake. That's how a lot of people here are. And it's one of the reasons why they have what they call the Seattle freeze. You know, where you just don't talk to people here. You don't talk to them. You don't befriend them. It makes a difference whether they are natives of this place or not. The imports like me, we try to stay away from the natives. The problem is that a lot of us who are imports have problems, you know. We don't come from loving, supporting families, you know. And the people who come here who do have that, they're only here for a short time, a year or two, and then they go back home to be around their family. They find another job that they can either transfer back home, or while they're here, they're sending out resumes and their families are lobbying for them at other companies in their hometown so they can come back. You know, when they get ready to get married, they don't marry people from up here. I don't blame them. I don't blame them, honey. Some people say that the natives here are cursed. I have said it even myself, because they just, okay, so I'm just driving by, right? And there was a guy at a bus stop, looked like a black guy, and someone had knocked over the trash can. He didn't pick it up. He's looking at his cell phone. It's like it's not even there. And it's the kind of things that you lecture a little kid about. Don't you see that broom laying in the floor? Don't walk over it, pick it up. Don't you see your socks in the middle of the floor? Don't just ignore them, pick them up, put them where they're supposed to go, in the dirty clothes or back in the drawer or whatever. But just don't act like it's not there. Well, these people do that with everything. Whether it's humans or animals, trash, whatever. They do not see it. They go right along their business as if it wasn't there, you know. And I've had the response from kids that say, I didn't put it there. I didn't put it there, so I shouldn't have to pick it up. And that's how it is in Seattle. If I didn't put it down there, why should I pick it up? Because it needs to be picked up? I don't think so. Okay, so this area is marginal. If you notice, the Boeing buildings, Boeing facilities are over here. The aviation school for kids is over here. This is East Marginal Way. Auto auctions right there. You see that? That's a, you see that? That's the, that hangar thing, that's the Museum of Flight. And there's, you can see the airplanes out there. This is the bridge. The museum is on, you know, both sides of the street. The Museum of Flight, home of Boeing. And here's another Boeing facility there. Green River does run behind this facility. It kind of snakes its way through King County. And we are traveling parallel to the river right now. We're going to come to a point soon where we cross the river. And with all this rain, you think that the river would be, you know, like really cresting, but it's not. It's not. It's really low. So that's the boulevard, but I'm gonna go through Allentown for a minute. I'm gonna go through Allentown for a hot second. That's the bridge for the train. It comes through this way. Let's see how I can do. There we go. That gives you a better vantage point, I hope. I'm trying to get my little doohickey to act right. Okay. Now this bridge right here would take me over the river, but I'm gonna stay parallel to it. This is Allentown. As you can see, very few people out. There's nobody out, basically. This is the original city of Tukwila. And there used to be a dairy farm out here. Lots of cows and roughnecks. And there's seagulls, even this far away from the ocean. And they come in and feed off of the river. Seagulls. They're just sitting on the bridge looking at the water. They're gonna catch them a fish or two. And again, like I was saying, on my right is the river. I'll stop so I can show you a bit. Can you see it? I'll show you as much as I can. See that? See if I can make it larger. I don't think I can zoom in. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. do it this way. Go ahead and take the phone out of the holder. See? That's the river. See, it's flowing on by. It's actually green. Now, I know you're wondering, is this where the Green River Killer was killing prostitutes and burying them along the riverbank and then going back and having sex with their bodies? Probably. Because as you can see, it's not densely populated, and you know, whatever tomfoolery people get up to, they can definitely do it here, because people here mind their own business. They're very quiet in their home bodies. They stay at home. The people that be out and about and stuff out here are usually tourists, visitors, folks like that. Now you can see I'm driving right along the river. Up ahead is a bridge, and I'll cross over the river. Hopefully my phone this thing will be able to grip it so that you can continue to see. Across the way from me is the old community center. I'm not showing it to you because I'm not stopping again. Okay, and this is a bridge that will take me over the river. Okay, and so this is Inner Urban, where I'm stopped at now, at the red light. And as you can see, this thing stopped. So back under the train thingy, up a hill. It's very hilly out here. Song blue. You see those trees? I can't even imagine what this place looked like before civilization, man. I can't even think what it could be. And instead of them doing something about it, they're just mean to strangers, people that haven't did anything to. There's a lot of building going on and whatnot. So I'm making my way back up to the boulevard. Recently built. And all this time I'm going up the hill, up the mountain for my port identification. I'm gonna go check on something. You wanna come with me? Give me a minute. I'm across the boulevard. Crossing it. I'm not going to check my mail. Anyway, I got my ID for the port. Ooh, ooh. Four-way stop. Okay, thank y'all. All right. It may not seem like it to y'all, but I'm tired. I am. I can't wait to go back home and relax. Relax for a minute. I have to get back at it at 1 o'clock or so. Hey, Arda. Okay. I'm going to check. You see where I am? I'm going to check on Joseph's grave, which it should be fine. But I'm going to just check and see. Everything looks good. I know he's not there. It's just a memorial. Look who's here. Seagulls. They are always, and look how healthy they look. Can you see them? So healthy. Beautiful, beautiful feathers. And they're burying somebody else close by where Joseph is. Look at seagull. And he eating something. There's some beautiful roses. No funerals this morning, looks like. So let's go check on the grave. Kitten would love to be out here today, but nope, nope, nope. this is why I get out of the truck and come on over here. What do I feel at his grave? Nothing. You know, I used to feel, you know, sad and stuff like that. But since I've seen him again and I know he's back here, I don't mind. You know, this is just a memorial to his. You know, he's got all this stuff under control. It's not fine, and I pray for the spirit that I knew as just the one that came through me, and I know that whatever happened, it really is in God's hands. It's not about me. The decision I make and like that. It's not about that. What is this? With Diana Marie. Pretty girl. She was born in 1985 and died 2006. Loving daughter, sister, granddaughter, daddy's girl. She died way before Joseph even died. She was born in 1985, so she was 25, 26. Pretty girl. That's a happy birthday sign. Merle Wayne Peak, March 7th, 1932, December 28, 2012. Finally free of pain. And that's James. He was with the Army, born 1931, and he died February the 10th, 2014, a year after Joseph. This is Lynn, born June 15, 1955, and died December 29, 2016. See, these are all new graves, except for Merle, but she was buried here after Joseph. And so was James. And there'll be a new one over here. This one is brand spanking new. See that? Somebody was just buried here. Probably this week. Right underneath this tree. Always in our hearts, beloved son, brother, and friend. I remember when it used to be nothing but kids here coming to see their friends, and now no more. They've graduated and they've gone on about their life. They don't come here no more. And for young people who, want to off themselves or live their life recklessly, thinking that their friends are going to worship them and come to their grave all the time, they go on and live their life. They go ahead on and live their life. Nobody remembers but mama. And sometimes, depending on the mama, she don't even remember. Know what I'm saying? I have one more stop to make, but I think I will do it later because I have another appointment. So, Arda, hey. I've been everywhere, I've been looking for you, babe. Searching for you, babe. Where have you been? 'Cause I never see you out. Are you hiding from me yet? Somewhere in the crowd. Oh. That's it. It's a very beautiful place, this is. I wish I could actually show you just how pretty. How pretty. It takes a lot of work for this, believe me. Riverton Crest. I would go and see my buddy, but I'm not. I'm tired. I really am. I need to relax. Rest myself. You see the mountains in the distance? I'm at a high altitude right now. Where Joseph's grave is, it's even higher than, where I live. Oh, what the heck. I'm going to go ahead on and do what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm going to check on it. I got to make my little gas money and stuff last, Let me see, I got that appointment, but I'm going to be trying to call people and not drive to their places, That's what I'm going to be trying to do, because gas is expensive. It is crazy expensive. And I am only driving to where I need to drive. I know I put this, I just don't know where I put it. That's it. I got 50 million pockets. Then gave me another lanyard for my port ID. Oh, you know what happened? I have stuff in my pockets from what I wore yesterday. Let me see. Let me park. I need to pocket. If I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star. These things are true because I'm so in love with you. These things I do because I'm so in love with you. So in love with you. I like that song. Somewhere, somebody I love is playing that song. They're playing that song, and I'm singing that song. Oh, see, too many pockets. I got too many pockets. When you got too many pockets, you gotta search too many places looking for stuff. So, let me see what I can do here. I might be able. I get so tired of not having paper towels, but you know what? It is what it is. You gotta make a decision. You gotta make a choice. What should you get? And they never have, buy one of this, get this other one free. They don't have that no more. The best I've seen is buy this, get a second one 50% off. That's it. Ain't nothing free these days. Seemed like things were cheaper when the mafia was running stuff, right? I think so. Now that the mafia isn't running it, things have just run. It's just gone crazy. Crazy prices, real estate, everything. It's just New world order. Babies getting all raped up. It's crime. What should I do? What you supposed to do? I'm gonna do it. What's it, Arda? What is Arda talking about? What? Arda? What? Mm-hmm. Hey. It's 10:21. La 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 la. And there's Stephen. Stephen is up. He's always up, 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 up. I don't think I showed you this. I want to go home and relax. Those squirrels. The psychology book. It looks really good. De Anima et Vita. Juan Luis Vives, 1492 to 1540. The Spanish philosopher and photo psychologist Juan Luis Vives was friends with some of the great thinkers and figures of the late Renaissance. He counted Erasmus and Thomas More among those in his intellectual circle, while also being friends with England's Henry VIII and his wife Catherine of Aragon. That's his first wife. I think he had her killed or divorced her or something. So Juan Luis was born in Valencia, Spain, into a Jewish family that had converted to Christianity, probably under the pressure of the Spanish Inquisition. He was educated in Christian schools and at age 17 departed Valencia to enter the University of Paris. He left the university after completing a 3-year arts degree, disgusted with the constant bickering between civil and secular authorities. He moved to the Netherlands, which at that time was the most progressive and liberal society in Europe, and spent several years on the faculty of the University of Louvain. The freedom of thought and practice he found there encouraged him to develop his own philosophy about the operations of the mind and emotions. He was befriended by the great scholar Erasmus and became part of the wider circle of humanistic philosophers and thinkers across Western Europe. He moved to Oxford University, where he taught from 1523 to 1528. In 1528, he returned to the Netherlands, where he remained until his death. His great philosophical and psychological work was De Anima et Vita, 1538. In the volume, he laid out his argument regarding the influence of emotions on our thinking and health. He was one of the first to argue that personality or temperament is influenced by both our macro environment, climate, physical geography, and our microenvironment, which is the immediate context of family, friends, and others. He also explained what he saw as the role of emotions in forming our memories. In addition, he was a pioneer in education. He lobbied forcefully for the education of women and for the poor. Education for all, he believed, was necessary for a healthy society. He has been acknowledged by scholars as influencing the writings of Descartes and John Locke, and for important contributions to understanding the interplay of emotions and memory. See also Mind-Body Dualism, 1637, and Tabula Rasa, 1690. Juan Luis Vives, De Anima et Vita. The psychology book. Wade E. Pickren, From Shamanism to Cutting Edge Neuroscience, 250 Milestones in the History of Psychology. Interesting. I picked up this book because I found it interesting. The Anatomy of Melancholy. Robert Burton, 1577 to 1640. The great English scholar, raconteur, and coffee enthusiast Samuel Johnson once remarked that Robert Burton's treatise on melancholy was the only book he ever wanted to get up early to read. Its author was an Oxford Don, given to a life of quiet scholarship apart from some early poetry and drama. Burton's life was devoted to the anatomy of melancholy. Originally published in 1621, it appeared in 6 editions. Burton was an acute observer of life in early 17th century England, when it was fashionable to be melancholic. What? Oh my God. They just shocked me. Hold up. Maybe I read that wrong. I must have read that wrong. People are crazy. Okay. I'm gonna calm down. Pat my wig. Okay, hold on. The Anatomy of Melancholy. Okay, now this line says, Burton's life was devoted to the anatomy of melancholy. Originally published in 1621, it appeared in 6 editions. Burton was an acute observer of life in early 17th century England. Here it is. Okay, brace yourself. When it was fashionable to be melancholic, and he personally struggled with his own sense of despair. It was fashionable to be melancholy. It was sexy to be depressed. I know somebody who don't know that. Well, Jesus, okay, I don't know. The Holy Spirit reveals stuff to you when you're ready to receive it. And I guess I'm ready to receive it. So this is funny to me. Oh my God. The Anatomy of Melancholy is important because it allows us to look both backward and forward. Burton drew upon the learning of the ancients. He cites Aristotle and employs a humoral theory of Hippocrates and Galen, which posits that melancholy is a function of an excess of black bile. He also relies on almost every possible source of his time, including philosophy, alchemy, and literature. In addition, the book points to the future when melancholy was perceived as a mark of creativity and genius. As well, I've heard that really smart people are not happy. But if you're a genius, never mind. Okay. In addition, the book points to the future when melancholy was perceived as a mark of creativity and genius, as well as to our modern period, when classification of mental disorders became important and discussion of gender differences became common. Even today, the book raises questions about the nature of melancholy. Are we to understand that melancholy is the older word for depression? Is depression only biological, or must we consider how cultural context shapes our understanding and expression of mood? Well, as a man thinketh, so is. I read that somewhere. But does that apply to everything? No, it don't. 'Cause some men think all wrong. Something wrong with a brain. But I think that it's as a wise man thinks, so he is. as a sane man thinks. So he is. It's crazy. This circular insanity. Jean-Pierre Falloret, 1794 to 1870. Emile Kraepelin, 1856 to 1926. The observation that mood states may swing back and forth rather freely for some people has been made for centuries. The scholar Robert Burton described it in the Anatomy of Melancholy. Jean-Pierre Falloret, a French physician at Hospital de la Pétrière, used the term la folie circulaire, circular insanity, to describe this vacillation in his patients. And in 1893, Mill, psychiatrist and founder of the modern classification schemes of mental disorders, re-christened circular insanity, manic depressive psychosis. The 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or the DSM-5, labels these symptoms as bipolar disorder. As these various labels indicate, the diagnosis includes the symptoms of depression and mania. In fact, the person may primarily exhibit depression, but if there has been one episode of mania, then the diagnosis is bipolar disorder. It is thought that a person suffering from manic depression will have recurring episodes once it begins. While the depression side of this disorder is not hard to understand, what does mania refer to? The symptoms of mania are typically extreme, usually representing a break with reality or psychosis. The mood may be elevated, even euphoric, and to achieve a definitive diagnosis, the episode must last for at least a week. In some cases, the person is easily irritated and may become violent. To me, talking about crackheads. Ain't this the way drug addicts act? Huh? I'm sure of it. Even people I didn't know were dope fiends. It came out, and you look back on it, and this is the way that they were acting. Unreasonable, reacting in ways that were just crazy. Why? Because they weren't high. They were drug addicts and they were fiending for their dope. And I think that a lot of this stuff comes from that, because they used to use laudanum and all kinds of drugs back in the day, snuff. And I really believe that what they're calling bipolar, what they're calling melancholy, it's all based on drugs. But I don't understand why they don't look at this. When the cops shoot black guys, do they drug test the cops? When a cop shoots somebody, just like in any other occupational situation, if you hurt yourself or you damage equipment or something like that, something happens out of the ordinary during your work day, you get drug tested. So why, when you drug test a police officer who just shot a black man in the back, in the front, choked him to death, went above and beyond, break their glass out, whatever. When you have that happen, how many of those cops where their blood was drawn and they had to do a pee test or, a swab, and they tested clean? I bet you none of them did. Not a one. And I don't understand why people are not making the connection. And I'm going to tell you something. I had a situation years ago. I didn't understand this fool. I didn't understand them. I didn't understand what they were doing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go on and tell you, I lived with a drug addict for years. I raised 2 drug addicts. And one is reborn now. And the other one is probably somewhere right now getting high. With a whole bunch of other folk. How does this person behave in the same way? Their brain has been altered by drug use. This bipolar that they're talking about, I really, really, really believe it. Okay, so like, I'm going to go ahead and put it in context of what I'm reading. This mania, this euphoria. Who the hell feels euphoria? Just normally. You don't feel euphoria normally. You've got to be doing something. I have felt euphoria after a really good workout. And I don't mean like weights or nothing like that, but like a real good stretch, a massage. I feel this overwhelming sense of health. And it makes me feel euphoric because in my body, there's nothing that feels uncomfortable. You know, I don't have muscles that are too tight. I don't feel no pain. I don't feel no ache. And that euphoria, that just don't just happen. I got to get a good stretch. I got to get a good massage for that to happen, honey. And just thinking about it, a good massage, ooh, especially when I trust this person, my masseuse, is heaven. So what he's talking about, depression and mania, bipolar, 2 extremes, really, really low, really, really high. And he says recurring episodes. The symptoms of mania are typically extreme. That's a extreme happiness. And see, when I don't know, whatever. The symptoms of mania are typically extreme, usually representing a break with reality or psychosis. Okay. Okay, here we go. Excuse me. The mood may be elevated, even euphoric, and to achieve a definitive diagnosis, the episode must last for at least a week. That's why I'm saying it's got to be artificially created, because nobody is euphoric for a week. Nobody. That's crazy. It's got to be drug induced. Okay, so in some cases the person is easily irritated and may become violent. Again, unreasonable. This is not normal. What is real mental illness? And Why do they diagnose that something is wrong with the brain or a person's mood instead of calling it what it is? Drug addiction. I'm thinking brain damage. Some people call it altered state. See, it's something about I want to say brain damage because when a person uses mind-altering drugs, acid, speed, it damages the brain where it no longer functions the way that it did previously. So there's a brain injury. I'm gonna show y'all this. He over there peeing. Can you see him? There. He over there pissing. And I got him on video. Bully for me. And you see he a paper bag colored person. It's not a white person putting his DNA all over the ground over here. And he's still peeing. He got some kind of biological problem. If you hear that loud music, that's coming from him. So now when the people at that apartment open up that window, they gonna be smelling piss. And here he come driving out. Car full of people. And that's why a lot of people don't like black people, don't like black young men. That's why. Now, it's a male thing. It's not very many females that will drop trowel and piss in public. But have I seen it done? Ya betcha. Black women? No. White women? Yes. I've seen them buck naked on the streets of Seattle trying to sell a little something something. Higher than the Georgia pines. Okay. Okay, so the mood may be elevated, even euphoric, and to achieve a definitive diagnosis, the episode may last for at least a week. In some cases, a person is easily irritated and may become violent. Among the symptoms are extreme goal-directed activity and such rapidity of thought that it can be described as a flight of ideas. Often there is a dramatically reduced need for sleep. In some cases, the person may experience delusions of grandeur. Historically, there has been an association of creativity with manic depression. Cha, for real? Please. Bullshit. Prominent musicians, painters, poets, architects, and writers have been among those who have experienced the disorder of getting high, of the drugs turning against them. Yeah. Many of them reported that their greatest and most intense moments of creativity occurred while they were in a manic state. The poet Lord Byron, the writer Virginia Woolf, the singer Rosemary Clooney, and many other artists are known to have suffered from the disorder. Child, that ain't what that was, especially not Rosemary Clooney. You know what that was. See also the schizophrenias and antipsychotic medications. You know what? I'm gonna pull my Seattle card and I'm gonna mind my business, because I guess if you want to have an excuse for being a dope fiend, this is it. This is it. I can't sleep, so I'm gonna do drugs, which makes my sleep problem worse. I'm a nymphomaniac, and to curtail that, I am going to get high, maybe get some laws changed. Oh my God, I just can't. You're just a dope fiend, boo. No, I'm a manic depressive. Okay. The doll studies. This looks interesting. What they doing to these paper bag colored people? Kenneth B. Clark, 1914 to 2005, and Mamie Phipps Clark, 1917 to 1983. On May 17, 1954, in the case of Brown versus Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas, the United States Supreme Court declared racial segregation in public schools to be unconstitutional. In their unanimous opinion, the justices cited evidence from the social science research to support their decision. A critical part of that evidence was the doll studies of Mamie. Oh, okay. All right, I get it. They still doing that same study. The two met at Howard University in Washington, D.C. in 1934. Kenneth soon graduated and moved to Columbia University. He was secretly married during Mamie's senior year, and she continued at Howard for her master's degree, completing it in 1939. In her master's thesis, she explored how racial identity formed in black preschool children. After completing her degree, Mamie joined Kenneth at Columbia, where they continued their research on racial identity. They added new materials to the study, including dolls of different skin colors, 2 white and 2 black. In each school, the children were presented with the dolls and asked to pick one in response to requests such as, give me the doll that you like to play with, give me the doll that is a nice doll, give me the doll that looks bad, and give me the doll that is a nice color. They found that many African American children equated good qualities with white dolls and attributed negative qualities from darker colored dolls, even though they knew themselves to be African American. The Clarks completed their research in 1943. The results were disturbing, but with the Clarks' permission, the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People used the doll studies as evidence of psychological damage or racial segregation in Brown. The decision was a bright and shining moment in American history, though many challenges lay ahead. Mamie and Kenneth Clark showed the power of psychological science in the cause of social justice, and I think it's I think that is interesting. Now, when I think about reincarnation, which I think is justice, I think that any racist person should be reborn as the person that they hated unjustly and mistreated unjustly. So, based on that premise, with slavery going on for so long a period of time, a lot of these black babies, or babies that were born in black skins, actually were the souls of white folks. So, of course, they would choose the white baby doll over the black baby doll. And being here in Seattle, there's a lot of black people who ain't black. They're reincarnated white people, and they get treated really, really badly by black people here. And they get treated badly by white people here. It's not my world. It's God's world. And I don't understand it. It ain't none of my business. I'm just going to stay out of it. Oh, God. Contact hypothesis. REM sleep. Look at this one. These people. Brainwashing. Cocktail party effect. Lives in progress. Antipsychotic medications. He look crazy. Look. This is a good book. Conformity, Gestalt therapy, brainwashing. Mind control, family therapy, the big 5 personality factors, by Donald W. Fisk. Logotherapy, autism, the orgasm, mind and body. Oh, healthy bodies, active minds, United States Navy. Men build the Navy builds men. Oh, Lord. Sensory deprivation. Psychosurgery. Anyway, let me go ahead on and do what I need to do. because weird. I gotta go because I got other stuff to do. So it's no time like the present. No time like the present. I've got to do it. Okay. Weirdos. I gotta go because I got stuff to do. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's been interesting. Talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.